The island of Kirk, since ancient times called the Golden Island, is a treasure trove of unique gems of natural, historic and cultural heritage. A true symphony of diverse images and sounds, fragrances and flavours. Until recently the largest island in the Adriatic Sea, it is an ecologically preserved region, immersed in the Azure Sea, a place where man's yearning is to live harmoniously in contact with nature. The island's landscape is still crisscrossed with dry stone walls, these rough stone roses that used to either define the boundaries of movement for grazing sheep or sought to preserve fertile land. They are mirrors of past folk life and symbols of centuries-old vernacular architecture, having woven the fabric of some abstract drawing beneath a clear sky, forming a large part of the island's scenery. Fragrant Mediterranean vegetation covering the island's expanses provides abundant grazing ground for sheep, the age-old providers for the island's inhabitants and everlasting symbols of their civilization. Your holiday on the island of Kirk would not be complete without tasting some of the local sheep and goat milk cheeses, imbued with flavors of aromatic herbs and seasoned by the sea salt. The exceptionally diverse plant and animal life of the island places it among the richest islands of the Mediterranean. The legend of Verbnik's Žlahtina, the favorite indigenous Croatian white wine that inspires song and friendship, was born in this climate and watered by the sweat of island wine growers. Today, the island of Kirk boasts additional landscape features in a number of cultivated olive groves that have flourished in the natural Mediterranean environment of the island's barren land, fused with the rocks and embraced by the sea. The olive, as a symbol of devotion and fidelity, rewards the islanders with streams of superior quality oil, enriching the culture of our cuisine. The wealth that nature has bestowed on the island of Kirk is matched by the rich story of its cultural and historic heritage. In large part, this heritage has been determined by the experience gained through thousands of years of life at this crossroad of different cultures that arrived here by sea and by land. The island of Kirk is also referred to as the cradle of the Croatian Glagolithic alphabet, a forgotten European script Slavic people began using as early as the 9th century. The Bashka tablet, discovered in the small church of St. Lucia in Jurand Dvor, features an inscription written in Glagolithic script in the Croatian language, created in the year 1100. Today, this precious Croatian stone is the most famous monument of Croatian culture and literacy, as well as being highly valued European cultural heritage. Throughout the island, one can see Glagolithic marks carved in stone. One can hear Glagolithic speech being used during Sunday liturgy, confirming that Kirk has in fact never stopped living its history. The fabled European noble Frankopan family embarked on their several centuries-long journey from this very island. They left indelible traces on Croatian national and European history, and today the people of Kirk proudly return to their symbols, the star and lions breaking bread. Jagged and picturesque, the Kirk coastline is occupied by island town centres and small coastal villages, where, among closely wedged houses and narrow winding streets, one can sense the ever-present poetry of stone. The leisurely tourist here can sense at every step the ancient fragrance and taste of the Mediterranean, encounter the host's warmth and discover their easygoing island soul. The islanders, also called Boduls, have not forgotten to cultivate their own traditions and customs, part of which are included in UNESCO's intangible cultural heritage. Bringing their guests closer to some of these customs during the summer, the islanders enable them to experience this spirited outpouring of the joy of life and revelry. To the sound of musicians' folk instruments called sopile and the rhythmic steps of folk dances, they create a motif of colours, joy and sheer delight. Immersed in the world's richest hued sea and enveloped by the warm Mediterranean climate, the island of Kırık converted all its assets, so generously bestowed upon it by nature, into the foundation for setting up tourism. Breathing in the salty Adriatic air, many Europeans have learned how to swim, dive, sail and love on this island. The residents of Kırık closely followed world developments in tourism and skillfully built a touristic destination with the most modern amenities, aiming towards a promising future. The holiday you planned for yourself and your loved ones on the island of Kırık offers a wide palette of magical moments in a variety of pleasures. Is there anything more wonderful than abandoning yourself to the adventure that Kırık's nature has to offer? Pristine and warm azure sea, deeply breathing in the ozone permeated with the scent of pine trees and aromatic herbs, listening to the sounds of the area and merging into them. Various dynamic attractions that follow global trends offer a variety of choices to more demanding advocates of active recreation and inspiring sports. The more inquisitive tourist, the connoisseur of spiritual pleasures, here on the island of Kırık, will not forego the remarkable collections bearing witness to high cultural achievements over many centuries of life on this island. They are stored and accessible to visitors for viewing in numerous libraries, museums, galleries and churches. Reverberating here since antiquity, the great poetry of wine is but an overture to the intoxicating, orchestrated, gastronomic symphony of aromas and flavours of these parts. To all champions of culinary and enophile delights, the Mediterranean cuisine is an ideal choice, and worth being sought out in the exotic sanctuaries of Kırık's gastronomy. The abundant offering and enticing flavours of Kırık's authentic delicacies can be found in restaurants, taverns and inns, where one can enjoy dishes that taste of childhood, bask in the host's warm hospitality and engage in conversations on the most varied of topics. Seasoned gourmets who have savoured specialities across all longitudes and latitudes of our blue planet swear that the flavour of scampi and white fish caught in the depths of the island of Kırık are unique and unforgettable. Imaginatively created dishes of Kırık's seabed and gardens are prepared using preserved nature's blessings. One such dish is shurlice, a type of pasta you could try with lamb stew or with scampi. Absolutely pour yourself a glass of chilled Žlahtina, Kırık's indigenous white wine, and its refreshing taste will usher you into a distinct poetic yearning and gastronomic bliss. The sea and the island have always been alive. In the experiences of people throughout all the centuries and millennia, they are the melting pot of thousands of lives. Arriving on Kırık, you set upon the path of the good life, chosen the life that is worth living, and returning to as often as possible. When one finds themselves in the right place, the whole world is in the palm of their hand. This corner of the globe in the northernmost part of a country with thousands of islands called Croatia is just such a place. As a gracious host, the island of Kirk will ensure you take away unforgettable memories of sights, experiences, and tastes.